She said, "You don't need to know what happens on a girls' trip. That's why you're blocked until I'm home." I didn't react. But when she came back expecting me at the airport, she found out who was really waiting for her. I am a private investigator. It is a job that changes you. You learn to see the world in layers of truth and deception. You learn to read people not by what they say, but by what they do, and more importantly, by what they try to hide. My girlfriend of 3 years, Jessica, always said my job made me too cynical. The truth is, my job did not make me cynical enough. Our relationship was, I thought, my one safe harbor from the world I operate in. It was the one place I did not have to look for the angle, the lie, the hidden motive. We were partners. We lived in my house, a place I had bought and paid for with a decade of long nights and risky assignments. We had shared goals, a shared life. I trusted her. In my line of work, trust is the highest currency, and I had given her all of it. The problem started, as it often does, with a trip. A 5-day girls' trip to Las Vegas with her 3 best friends. There was Lauren, the ringleader, twice divorced and perpetually on the hunt. There was Becca, the follower, who mirrored Lauren's personality. And there was Qley, who was quiet but always seemed to be watching and calculating. I did not like them. They were loud, superficial, and treated Jessica like their prized possession, constantly reminding her of the wild days she had before she met a boring, stable guy like me. A few days before the trip, I was helping Jessica pack. I asked for her flight details and the name of the hotel, just so I would have it in case of an emergency. She turned to me, a strange, hard look in her eyes. "You do not need to know that," she said. I was taken aback. "What do you mean? I just want to know where you are." She crossed her arms, and her voice took on a sharp, condescending tone. "It is a girls' trip, Mark. The whole point is to get away from everything, including you. You do not need to know what happens on a girls' trip. That is why you are blocked until I am home." I just stared at her, blocked. She was not just asking for privacy. She was declaring a 5-day blackout. She was drawing a line between her life and our life. I did not react. I did not yell. I did not argue. In my profession, when someone shows you a wall, you do not try to break it down. You find a way around it. My mind, trained to see every angle, immediately went into professional mode. The boyfriend was gone. The investigator had just clocked in. "Okay," I said, my voice perfectly calm. "I understand. Have a great time." Her confident, defiant expression faltered for a second, replaced by a flicker of confusion. She had expected a fight. She had wanted one. A fight would have made her feel justified. My easy agreement left her with nothing to push against. She left the next morning. I drove her to the airport. She was cheerful, excited, already in vacation mode. As she got out of the car, she leaned in to kiss me. "Do not miss me too much," she said with a wink. "I will call you when I land to let you know I am unblocking you." "I will not," I said. She laughed, thinking I was joking. I watched her walk into the terminal, dragging her suitcase behind her. Then I drove away. I did not go home. I went to my office. The investigation had already begun. She thought she was going into a 5-day blackout. She had no idea I was about to flood her world with light. She was expecting me to be waiting for her at the airport when she got back. She was right, in a way. I would not be there. But she was about to find out who was really waiting for her. Update 1. It has been 1 week since Jessica left for her girls' trip. For her, it has been a week of parties, pictures, and secrets. For me, it has been a week of quiet, methodical work, the kind of work I am very, very good at. The first thing I did when I got to my office was simple. I ran the license plate of the car that had picked up her 3 friends that morning. Lauren had posted a picture of the 4 of them in front of her house, ready to go. The car in the background was a high-end SUV. The plate came back registered to a man named Adam Qley. A quick search revealed that Adam Qley was a senior partner at a major investment firm in the city. He was also married, with 2 young children. Interesting. Jessica had told me they were flying on a budget airline. A little digging into flight manifests for Las Vegas that day told a different story. There were no tickets under her name or her friends' names on any commercial flight. But there was a private jet, owned by Adam Qley's firm, that had filed a flight plan from our city to Las Vegas that morning. The passenger list was not public, but I did not need it to be. The picture was already becoming clear. The blocking was a gift. It was not an obstacle. It was a confirmation of deception. She thought it would keep me in the dark. Instead, it gave me the freedom to operate without having to maintain the facade of the trusting boyfriend. Her friends, however, were not as careful. They were arrogant. Becca, the follower, had a public social media profile. She was a fountain of information. Throughout the week, she posted a steady stream of pictures and videos. They were all carefully framed to look like a girls' trip. Pictures of the four of them with cocktails by the pool, a video of them dancing at a nightclub, a selfie in front of a famous casino. But amateurs always make mistakes. In the reflection of Becca's sunglasses in one selfie, I could see the clear outline of a man sitting across from them at a cabana. In the background of a video from the nightclub, I saw Lauren laughing and leaning intimately into a man who was definitely not her ex-husband. The biggest mistake was a photo Qley posted. It was a group shot of the four of them at a fancy dinner. In the background on the wall was a distinctive piece of art, a large abstract painting. A reverse image search took me less than 5 minutes. The painting was a well-known piece that hung in the private dining room of one of the most exclusive, high-roller suites in the Bellagio, a suite that is not available to the general public. A suite that is reserved for the casino's biggest clients. I made a few calls. I have contacts in Las Vegas, people who owe me favors. A friend who works in casino security confirmed it for me. The suite was registered to Adam Qley. He was there for the week, hosting a group of clients. And his guests included 4 women. My girlfriend, Jessica, was one of them. This was not a girls' trip. It was a paid party. She was not on vacation with her friends. She was an accessory for a wealthy married man and his business associates. The entire trip, the secrecy, the blocking, it was all a cover for a life she was living that I had no part in. The final piece of the puzzle was the most painful. In one of Becca's videos, I saw Jessica in the background. She was laughing, holding a drink, and she was talking to a man. I could not see his face clearly, but there was something familiar about him. I isolated the audio, cleaned it up, and ran it through a voice analysis program. It was a long shot, but I had to know. The program matched the voice pattern to a sample from my own database. The voice belonged to a man named Scott, her ex-fiancé. The man she had told me she despised. The man she said had cheated on her and broken her heart. He was one of Adam Qley's clients. The entire thing was a lie, a complex, layered, and deeply insulting lie. She had not just gone on a trip without me. She had gone on a trip to be with another man, funded by a different man, all while pretending to be with her friends. My course of action was clear. This was not a situation that required a conversation. It required a consequence. A public, undeniable, and life-altering consequence. I started with Adam Qley's wife, Catherine. I ran a background check on her. She was a respected pediatrician, a mother, a woman who seemed to have no idea what her husband was doing on his business trips. I did not contact her directly. That was not my place. But I compiled a file, a neat, digital package containing the flight plan of the private jet, the hotel suite registration, and the photos from social media, including the ones showing her husband with Lauren. I sent the file to a reputable divorce attorney in her city, along with an anonymous note. You might want to show this to your client, Catherine Qley. It seems her husband's business trips are more eventful than she knows. Next, I dealt with Scott, the ex-fiancé. He was a real estate developer. He was also, according to public records, in the middle of a messy business dispute with his former partners. I have a friend who is an investigative journalist. I sent him an anonymous tip about a real estate developer who funds his lavish lifestyle and his trips to Las Vegas with other people's money. I included Scott's name and some details about his business dealings that were not hard to find if you knew where to look. Finally, I prepared for Jessica's return. She was due to land on Sunday afternoon. She had texted me from a friend's phone a few days ago, a brief, cheerful message. Having so much fun, can't wait to see you. Pick me up at 3 p.m. on Sunday. I will unblock you when I am on the plane. I replied with a simple, okay. She was expecting me. She was expecting a hug, a kiss, and a quiet drive home where she would tell me a series of carefully edited stories about her trip. She had no idea what was actually waiting for her. I found the one person who had more of a right to be at that airport than I did. It took me 2 days of solid work, but I found her. The live-in girlfriend of Scott, the ex-fiancé. Her name is Emily. She is a school teacher, and she had no idea her boyfriend was in Las Vegas. He had told her he was at a wellness retreat in Arizona with no cell service. I called her. It was the hardest call I have ever had to make. I told her who I was, and I told her what I had found. I sent her the evidence, the audio file, the pictures, the hotel information. She was silent for a long time. Then she started to cry. But after the tears came the anger, a cold, hard anger that matched my own. I told her about Jessica's flight. I told her what time she was landing, and I made her a proposition. She is expecting me to be there, I said, but I think you are the one she should see first. Emily agreed without hesitation. So the stage is set. The actors are in place. Jessica's flight is scheduled to land in 24 hours. She is expecting a welcome home party. She has no idea she is about to walk into a funeral. Her own. Update 2. The events of the past few days have been more chaotic and more satisfying than I could have possibly scripted. The airport was not just a confrontation, it was a detonation. And I was the one holding the trigger, miles away. I was not at the airport on Sunday. I was at home, monitoring the situation through a live feed from a private security contractor I had hired. He was posing as a limo driver, holding a sign with a different name on it, his phone camera streaming directly to my laptop. Jessica's flight landed on time. I watched as she and her 3 friends walked out of the gate and into the baggage claim area. They were tanned, laughing, and loaded down with shopping bags. Jessica was on her phone, a big smile on her face. She was probably texting me, telling me she was there, expecting me to be waiting at the curb. As they came through the main doors into the arrivals hall, I saw Emily. She was standing there, calm and composed, holding a large, professionally printed poster board. On the board was a crystal-clear, high-resolution photo I had managed to acquire from my casino contact. It was a picture of Jessica and Scott sitting together at a blackjack table in the High Roller Lounge, his arm draped possessively around her. Jessica saw Emily first. Her smile froze. Her face went pale. She stopped dead in her tracks. Her friends, still chattering away, bumped into her. They followed her gaze to Emily, then to the poster she was holding. The laughter died. Emily did not yell. She did not scream. She just stood there, letting the picture do the talking. The arrivals hall of a major airport is a busy place, but a small bubble of silence and intense drama formed around them. People were stopping, staring, pulling out their phones. Jessica tried to recover. She started to walk away, pretending she did not know Emily. But Emily was prepared. She took a step forward, her voice clear and steady, loud enough for everyone around them to hear. "Scott sends his apologies," Emily said. "He could not be here to welcome you home himself. He is a little busy explaining this picture to me." Jessica's friends looked at her, their faces a mixture of shock and dawning horror. They had been part of the lie, and they were now caught in the blast radius. At that exact moment, a man in a crisp suit stepped forward. He was a process server I had hired. He walked directly up to Jessica. "Jessica Miller?" he asked, his voice professional and loud. She just nodded, completely stunned. "You have been served," he said, handing her a thick legal envelope. Inside that envelope was a formal eviction notice. She had 30 days to remove her belongings from my property. Also inside was a restraining order, preventing her from contacting me or coming within 500 feet of my house or my place of business. The combination of the public humiliation and the legal documents was too much. Jessica just crumpled. She dropped her bags, covered her face with her hands, and started to sob. Her friends did not rush to comfort her. They grabbed their own bags and scattered, disappearing into the crowd like rats from a sinking ship. They wanted no part of the mess they had helped create. My security contractor's camera captured the whole thing. The beautiful, confident woman who had blocked me from her life just 5 days earlier was now sitting on the floor of an airport, surrounded by her expensive shopping bags, completely and utterly alone. The fallout since then has been swift and comprehensive. Adam Cole's wife, Catherine, did not waste any time. The day after I sent her lawyer the file, she filed for divorce. She also, I am told, liquidated a significant portion of their joint assets and put the money into a trust for her children, a move her prenuptial agreement allowed her to do in cases of infidelity. Adam is facing a messy, expensive, and very public divorce. His firm is also reportedly reviewing his position, as the scandal is not a good look for their family-oriented image. Lauren, the ringleader of the trip, has been named in the divorce proceedings. Scott, the ex-fiancé, is also in a world of trouble. The journalist I tipped off ran a story about his shady business dealings. His partners are suing him, and his reputation is in tatters. Emily has left him and is, with my help, preparing her own legal action against him for financial damages. And Jessica. Her life is a smoking crater. She has no boyfriend, no home, and her friends have abandoned her. She had to call her parents to come and get her from the airport. I can only imagine that conversation. She is now living in their spare bedroom, a 30-year-old woman whose entire life has been reset to zero. She has tried to contact me, of course. She has used burner phones, new email accounts, everything. I have not responded. My lawyer has sent her a cease and desist letter, reminding her of the restraining order. Her friends have also tried to reach out, each with their own pathetic attempt at damage control. They have all claimed they had no idea what was really going on, that Jessica had lied to them. I have not responded to them either. They are irrelevant. I spent the week after her return systematically erasing her from my life. Her belongings were packed by a professional moving company and delivered to her parents' address. I changed my phone number. I have scrubbed my social media. To her, and to the world she inhabits, I have become a ghost. She thought she was playing a game. She thought she could have it all, the stability I provided and the thrill of a secret life. She did not understand that in my world there are no games. There are only facts, evidence, and consequences. She gave me a 5-day blackout. I gave her a lifetime of it. Final update: it has been 6 months since the day of the airport greeting. The dust has not just settled, it has been swept away, leaving behind a clean slate. I am writing this final update not to gloat, but to close the book on this chapter of my life and to detail the final, quiet consequences of a series of very loud mistakes. My life has moved on in a way I did not expect. After the initial satisfaction of the revenge wore off, I was left with a sense of emptiness. I had won, but the victory felt hollow. I had spent so much of my life looking for the deception in others that I had forgotten how to look for the good. The person who helped me change that was Emily, Scott's ex-girlfriend. We stayed in touch after the airport incident. We were two people who had been betrayed by the same lie, and we found a strange sort of comfort in that shared experience. We started having coffee, then dinner. We talked about everything except what had happened. We talked about our jobs, our families, our dreams. I discovered a woman who was kind, funny, and incredibly strong. We are dating now. It is slow, it is careful, and it is built on a foundation of absolute honesty. It is the realest thing in my life. The lives of the people who caused so much chaos, however, have found their own fitting conclusions. Adam Cole's divorce was finalized. It was brutal. Catherine, armed with the evidence I provided, took him for everything she was legally entitled to. He lost his house, a significant portion of his fortune, and his position at the investment firm. His reputation is destroyed. Lauren, who was named in the divorce, has become a social outcast. The wealthy men she used to associate with now see her as a liability. Scott's legal troubles have only deepened. The article about his business practices triggered an official investigation. He is facing multiple lawsuits and the potential for criminal charges. He has lost everything. And Jessica. Her story is the quietest and, in some ways, the saddest. After months of living with her parents, she finally got a new job and moved into a small apartment. She is starting over, but she is doing it alone. Her friends never came back. Her reputation never recovered. I received one final communication from her about 2 months ago. It was a letter, forwarded to me by my lawyer. It was a long, handwritten apology. She did not make excuses. She did not ask for a second chance. She just owned it. She wrote that the public humiliation at the airport was the worst day of her life. But it was also the day she finally saw herself for who she was. A person who valued the attention of others more than the love of one. She wrote that she was in therapy. and that she hoped one day to become someone she could be proud of. She ended the letter by saying that she did not expect forgiveness, but that she was truly sorry for the pain she had caused me. I read the letter, and for the first time I did not feel anger or satisfaction. I just felt a sense of closure. I believe her apology was genuine, but I also believe that some things once broken cannot be put back together. My revenge was not just about exposing a lie. It was about forcing a group of people who lived in a world of illusion to face a moment of undeniable truth. The airport was a stage, and on that stage, they were all forced to take off their masks. What was left was not pretty. I do not think about them anymore. My life is full. I have a partner I trust, a business I am proud of, and a sense of peace I have not felt in years. I still see the world in layers, but now I am better at seeing the good along with the bad. Jessica thought she could block me out for 5 days. She did not realize that in doing so, she was giving me the space to build a new firewall, one that would protect my life from her kind of chaos forever. And behind that wall, everything is quiet, everything is safe, and everything is real.